Hey guys, welcome to today's video here on the FindTheBestCarPrice.com YouTube channel. This is the 2022 Mercedes Benz GLE 350. It has a sticker price for this particular model of $66,340. Let's take a look at exactly what you get for that price. It's a really solid two-row SUV, 5-passenger, a lot of storage, it's comfortable, and even with the engine option that's under this hood, it's the 2-liter 4-cylinder. We'll throw the numbers at you in just a little bit. It still gets down the road, no problem. It has a good, comfortable ride. The latest technology from Mercedes-Benz, including the MBUX system. And if you're not familiar with that, we'll run through a little bit of what that is later on in the video. But like I said, this is cardinal red, the exterior color. And the interesting thing is, here, let's take a look at the interior. I'll have Carrie come over here and just give you a quick look. That is a very interesting name, but that's what it is. And I assume that that is because it's kind of a dual contrast of the black and the white, but I do like the way that sets the interior off, making it look very, very nice. Now, if you're wondering about pricing on this model, there are a few upgrades on it, including the tire and wheel combination. Without any upgrades, it's going to have the 255/50 R18, which means that's going to have an 18-inch wheel. If you're savvy to what you're looking at, you probably notice those are not 18-inch wheels. These are 275/50 R20s, but the R20 in this case is the wheels, so those are 20-inch upgraded wheels. Taking a look here at the front end, I like shooting here in the photo booth at Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport because we can show you a lot of stuff we can't necessarily show you outside. Got those really nice looking daytime running lights. Got the blinker on right there with the hazard lights. Couldn't get the other lights to come on in here without turning the light off. It's probably gonna be a little bit too bright to do that. And of course, the question that people often ask about, I guess it's really important to a lot of people, and you really don't have to have me answer it, but is there a turn signal indicator built into the side view mirror? Power heated side view mirrors, when you lock the interior, those are going to fold in, so always a good option. But let's talk a little bit about the advantage of what is under the hood with that 4-cylinder. Let's pop that up and take a look. Okay, I haven't opened the hood yet because I just wanted to show you. I think it's kind of cool. I'm a gearhead, so a lot of people may not get anything out of this, but I'll have Carrie step back because what I'm going to do is open the hood all the way up. This is really meant for when your vehicle is in for service, but I just like the fact that if you wanted to show off your cardinal red GLE 350, well, at Cars and Coffee, you can open the hood all the way so people can come by and admire the 2-liter 4-cylinder that's found here under the hood. Let's talk about exactly what that is. 255 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. This is a 2-wheel drive model, by the way. 9-speed automatic transmission, but here's the big advantage to those numbers. As far as this being a 4-cylinder, not making as much horsepower as you might expect, 255 horsepower is more than enough to get the job done here. 19 miles per gallon city, 27 miles per gallon. Out on the highway, those two combined are going to be 22 miles per gallon, and you have a 22.5 gallon gas tank. When I was trying to remember the numbers earlier, Carrie can attest to this on the camera, I said 22.5 inches and thought, man, if I say that in the video, that will get me a lot of comments, but probably not comments I'm going to enjoy. Okay, something interesting that you don't see on all vehicles. In Germany, people park on the street, and obviously, if you've parked on the street and especially been somebody who ever had your vehicle run into at night because someone didn't see it, usually they're just not paying attention, but there's a feature built into this vehicle that you can use if you park on the street, whether you live in Germany or not. So watch this. Here's an interesting thing. I'm going to have Carrie stand where he feels is best for this, and what I'm doing is using the dial for controlling the headlights. Now the ignition has to be off for this to work, so I'm going to take it all the way to the bottom left-hand setting, and look at that. So if you have this side of your vehicle is on the street side and the curbs on the right-hand side, this is what you need to do. Or notice how it changed to the right there, and that's not only in the front, but it's in the rear as well, which is really interesting. We'll have Carrie walk around to the back there and show you that. So I've got the right-hand side on right there, and then we'll switch over here to the left. And then I'll have Carrie come around here and I'll show you exactly how I'm controlling this. So right here on the dial for controlling the headlights, when it's all the way in this bottom left-hand side like this, that's going to be the left-hand side. If you want the right side to be on, you're just going to click that up one dial right there. Something very interesting, if you own a Mercedes Benz vehicle and it has this feature, did you already know about it, or is this the first time you learned? A little bit more of a German flair here in the GLE 350. This button right here, get my leg out of the way, if I push that, I'm going to show you, I'll have Carrie go back and show you. So I haven't pushed it yet, it's not on yet. I'm going to get him to go back there, and now that you can see, I'm going to push this. Notice what happens on the left rear tail light, or the left tail light. It's not as if there's a front tail light, but that is actually a fog light. Something else you see in Germany that you wouldn't normally see in the US, although there are Range Rovers that have, Land Rovers that have that on both sides. So just something else that I thought was an interesting bit of information you might want to know about. All right, let's get into the features and functionality of this vehicle. You have a fully power rear tailgate here that is hands-free, so we'll let that open real quick. And the good thing about these models is there is a lot of cargo capacity back here. Now, if you want to tow a trailer, the max towing is 7,700 pounds. And here under the floor, you're going to find a spare tire. And the good thing about this floor is that if you are working alone, you can actually, the floor will kind of sit up here by itself. You can kind of almost jam it in place, so to speak. But there is this hook right here. I would definitely recommend if you ever need to change a tire or something like that, someone's going to change it for you, whatever the situation is, put that hook up there in place, because that way if the floor happens to get loose, it's still not going to fall all the way down. Makes it easy to get things in and out. We'll put that back down. You got all the tools and everything there to change the tire. Also a rear cargo cover that you can put in place right here if you want to keep your cargo out of view for anybody who might be a would-be thief or whatever the case may be. Let's talk about cargo space. I've told you that you can tow 7,700 pounds with this vehicle. You also have, with maximized cargo space, and I'm going to go up here and show you real quick how to maximize your cargo space, 74.9 cubic feet of cargo space. And you can lower these rear seats on both sides. That's real easy to do. That way you maximize your space. And by the way, the cargo cover right here is removable. I don't know if I can remove it from this side. I think I have to do it from the other side, but there's just a release over there that you pull on, and it basically allows you to just move that out of the way if you want to. So now I'm going to have Carrie come over to the passenger side. I'm going to hop on in right here, and we're going to take a quick look at the rear seat area here. There is a lot of space back here. I'm 5'10". Let me make sure that I'm sitting all the way up. Plenty of headroom. Got a lot of space here. I'm really happy with how comfortable I am. Of course, you're going to have the dual air conditioning vents here. You've got connectivity right here on the rear of the console. Plenty of space right here. But even if these seats were way back, if you look right here, you have these little kind of indentions right here. That's actually to have your legs kind of fit into. See that? My legs fit up there. But I don't need that right now. But if the seat was way back, you know, I would still have extra space. And of course, you have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. And there is a conventional size sunroof in the front. We'll have Carrie kind of pan around and see if he can give you a good view of that. No panoramic sunroof, at least on this particular model. But like I said, the real action, the real technology, that's in the front seat. Let's jump up there and take a look. And real quick, kind of coming back to where we started back here, just so you know, there's a couple of different options. Yes, you can use that motion sensor down there to close the rear lift gate. I haven't shown you the remote yet. Let me just go ahead and do that. You can open and close the lift gate with that as well. You can see all the functionality that's right there for everything. You might notice that there's no remote start on there, but remote start is available. It's actually through the app that you can install on your phone. Another option here, you got a couple of buttons right here. This one right here on the left will just close the lift gate. If you want to close and lock the interior at the same time, you can push the one on the right, and that's how it works. Okay guys, we're going to take a look at where the real action takes place. And you have two four-way adjustable seats here. Power seats for the driver and passenger are very comfortable and actually have a little bit of bolstering in them. So hey, if you want to track your GLE 350 and really get the most performance out of that 2-liter 4-cylinder, well, there's the option for you to do that. And something that's interesting here, I know Carrie and I have taken a lot of rides together, is the fact that you have, let's see, there is one at all four corners. You've got a grab handle right here. See that right there? I don't know if the driver can take advantage of that, but if you were tracking your GLE 350, well, your passengers might want to grab on if there's somebody on the passenger side. And as you can see, Carrie's showing you an image of what's up there on the passenger side as well. But the thing I really like here about the photo booth at the Mercedes Benz of Shreveport dealership is that we can give you a great view of the ambient lighting. And it just seems that the blue shows up better than anything else. But as you can see, that's some really nice lighting. It's all throughout the interior. You can go in and change that. In fact, I'm going to show you how to do that on the screen real quick. We'll let Carrie hop in here. And if you're like Monk and you don't want to actually touch the screen and have fingerprints on the screen, well, you still have the trackpad down here, kind of reminiscent of the former version of the infotainment system in older models. But it's actually easier, in my opinion, to do this with the screen itself. But so I'm going to do that. But here we go. Let's change the colors a little bit here. This is how easy it is to do. And there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can choose. So we'll just change this. And as you can see, the lighting is changing just a little bit here. Still has kind of a blue hue to it. But we'll go to Red Moon and see how that looks. See how that changes? I think that is really cool. And then Fire Red. It's a little bit harder to see these, at least in my opinion, on the screen. And then if you want to go in and change a couple of different ways, there's a couple of different things you can do as far as different colors go and different options go. You can even go in and change the colors around the vents right there if you want to do that. But here's the real easy way to do it. You have 64 different colors available, and all you've got to do, you can kind of scroll around if you want to, or you can just touch. Now notice that kind of green color, that it really doesn't show up as well here in the photo booth. If we were out driving around after dark, then it would show up a lot better, just so you can kind of see what's here. But that's real easy to do. Now I am going to start the vehicle real quick here, just so we can show you what the backup camera looks like. I'm going to put it in reverse so you can see. And then of course you can notice the door didn't shut all the way there because Carrie was trying to do that gently. No big deal. We don't have to worry about that. But just so you can kind of see what's here, you do have that 360-degree overhead view. If you need to zoom in, you can. That's very easy to do on every area of the vehicle. And it's really cool that you can do this, of course, without being in reverse. I'm in reverse right now, but if you need to see all around the vehicle, you can. And this system is one of the easy ones to learn. Not a big deal, but let's do this. Hey, Mercedes.
How can I help?
How much gas do I have left?
You can still drive 91 miles.
That is just one of the many different options there. I'm going to turn the engine off since we're inside somewhere. We don't want to do anything crazy, but just so you can kind of see what's there. And then, of course, the steering wheel here. You can control not only the screen, this is a 12.3-inch screen. You can also control the screen here where the instrument cluster and all that information is displayed via what I call the mini trackpads. So if you look right there, I'm just controlling that with my finger. So the driver can actually do all this while driving down the road if they need to, without really having to look over or look down at the trackpad or anything like that. I can also do the same thing over here on the instrument cluster. As you can see, I'm going through some information right here on one of the sides, and then you can scroll over here to the other instrument cluster, or the other gauge, I should say, that's the tachometer there, and go through a few different things, as you can see, including the navigation, just all kinds of good information. Very customizable. Everything is very easy to use. And then you've got the shifter paddles here as well, because you do have multiple driving modes. If you want to drive in sport mode, you can do that. Very easy shifter paddles to use. Fairly large. I like that. But of course, you've got your dual cup holders right here. A little bit more of that ambient lighting right there, and all the controls and everything here for controlling the stereo and the trackpad and all that stuff. An interesting thing here, if you're wondering, what is this right here? That's functional for laying your wrist on. So you have an easier place to just kind of rest your hand and your wrist as you're using the trackpad to work your way around on the screen. And just several one-touch options such as active park assist and different details about the vehicle that you can get into on the screen. If you want to go right to that, you can just push on those and see where they go and what it takes you to and all that good stuff. And then I'll get Kerry to kind of look over here, get his arm out of the way so we can open those bomb bay doors, bombs away, right? And then you're going to have a little more connectivity in here as well as a little bit of space. You could probably fit about 4 or 5 Vehicle Visionary t-shirts right down inside there. And one more interesting thing that you might wonder about if you ever go to fill up your gas tank and you notice this QR code right here and you're wondering what exactly is that for? I hope you never need this, but if you do, it'll be good to know that it's here. With all the airbags and the different charges and everything like that, if there was an accident and somebody needed to be extricated from the vehicle, here is what would happen. Let me get to the right place here. First responders would hold their phone up right there, and as you can see, something comes up. Let's just show this on the screen. There's the vehicle. If you scroll down, there is a schematic of the vehicle that lets them see everything they need to know about so that they stay safe and you stay safe as they perform the extrication. And I know that's nothing unusual. There's other vehicles that have that, but I just thought it was really interesting and something you might want to know about.